Have you ever walked into a room in your own house and felt like it was closing in on you? Not because it's small, but because there's just too much stuff. Drawers that don't close. Closets packed with clothes you haven't worn in years. That chair you haven't sat in for a decade because it's buried under things you meant to get to later. If any of this feels familiar, I want you to know you are not alone. Clutter builds up slowly over the years. A gift here, a purchase there, a keepsake we couldn't bear to toss, until one day, it starts to weigh us down. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. And here's something you might not expect. This kind of clutter doesn't just make life harder. It can actually shorten it. Yes, clutter can affect our health, our stress levels, even our ability to stay independent as we age. But the good news? It's never too late to make a change. In fact, after 60 is the perfect time to reclaim your space, your energy, and your peace of mind. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't need to clear out your whole house in one weekend or live like a minimalist monk. This is about creating breathing room in your life, starting one corner, one drawer, one decision at a time. So let's talk about how decluttering can actually help you live longer, feel lighter, and make daily life a whole lot easier and more joyful. And let's start with something simple, something we all deal with, decision fatigue. You might not think of clutter as something that drains your energy, but it does. Every item in your home is a small decision waiting to be made. Should I keep this? Do I need it? Where should it go? Even when we're not actively thinking about it, that mental load adds up. When you open a crowded cabinet or see stacks of paper on the table, your brain starts buzzing with tiny stress signals. Now imagine the opposite. You walk into your kitchen, and every drawer opens easily. You can find your favorite mug in 2 seconds. No stacks of unread mail or tangled cords or mystery keys from who knows what. Just open space. Calm. Order. That feeling is more powerful than you might think. Studies have shown that a cluttered environment can raise cortisol, the stress hormone, in your body. And chronic stress? It's linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, and even memory problems. But when we reduce that clutter, even just a little, we give our brain a break. Our focus improves. Our mood lifts. We sleep better. And best of all, we create a space that feels safe and welcoming, not chaotic or overwhelming. Now I know, it's not easy to let go of things. Some items carry memories. Others feel like we might need them someday. But let me offer you this thought. Holding on to everything doesn't protect your past. It can actually cloud your present. And what you deserve now, more than anything, is clarity, calm, and comfort. One of the best places to begin? The medicine cabinet. This is something so many of us overlook, but it matters more than we realize. Expired pills. Duplicates. Bottles with worn-off labels. It's not just messy, it can be dangerous. Clearing out old medications, safely, of course, your pharmacy can help, is a small but powerful step towards simplifying your life and protecting your health. And while you're at it, take a look at your bathroom setup. Can you reach everything easily? Are the towels piled too high? Is there a rug that slides around every time you step on it? Decluttering isn't just about tidiness, it's about safety. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury in older adults, and the fewer obstacles in your way, the better. As you move through this process, I want you to pause and check in with yourself. Notice how it feels when you clear off a table or donate that third slow cooker that's been gathering dust. Decluttering isn't about loss, it's about gain. Gaining space. Gaining ease. Gaining the freedom to move through your day without tripping over yesterday's chaos. One woman I spoke to recently told me that after cleaning out her closet, she actually felt taller. Not physically, of course, but emotionally. She said it felt like she'd been carrying a heavy backpack for years and finally set it down. That's the feeling we're going for here. And don't worry, you don't need to tackle your whole house. Start with a single drawer. A shelf. One small area where you can see and feel the difference right away. Maybe it's the junk drawer in the kitchen. Maybe it's the stack of magazines in the living room you've been meaning to read for 5 years. Pick something manageable and let yourself win a little victory. That win will fuel your motivation to keep going. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. You're not trying to turn your home into a showroom, you're trying to make it easier to live, to move, to breathe. And every item you let go of is one less thing to trip over, worry about, or clean around. Letting go takes courage. It also takes love for yourself, for your future, for the peace you deserve in your own space. It's about making room not just on your shelves, but in your life. And once you start to feel that shift, even in a small way, something beautiful happens. You start to notice more of what really matters, the sunlight coming through the window, the quiet of an uncluttered morning, the joy of finding exactly what you need, exactly where it should be. Watching and feel that these insights are meaningful. Please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. You know, once you start letting go of the extra noise around you, those little piles, those forgotten drawers, even those dusty books you promised you'd read someday, something interesting happens. Your mind gets quieter too. And that quiet? It feels like a long, deep breath you didn't realize you'd been holding. Now let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed but has just as much impact: digital clutter. Yes, I'm talking about that overflowing inbox, the phone filled with apps you don't use, and hundreds, maybe thousands, of photos you can barely scroll through. It's like carrying a heavy bag around, but instead of your shoulders feeling the weight, it's your brain. Every time you open your phone and see 3,572 unread emails or dozens of notifications, it quietly chips away at your sense of peace. Start small. Unsubscribe from newsletters you never read. Delete those duplicate photos or blurry shots that don't mean much anymore. Organize your pictures into albums, family, vacations, grandkids' smiles. You'll actually enjoy looking at them more when they're easier to find. And take a good look at the apps on your phone or tablet. If you haven't opened one in 3 months, you probably don't need it. You don't have to be a tech expert to clean digital clutter. All you need is a little patience and a willingness to let go. You're not just tidying up your device, you're freeing up mental energy. You're giving your brain fewer things to process, fewer tabs to keep open. And believe it or not, this can help with memory, focus, and even sleep. There's something powerful about ending the day with a clear mind and a phone that's not buzzing at you every 5 minutes. And speaking of the mind, let's look a little deeper. What about the clutter we carry inside? Emotional clutter, regrets, old worries, and unresolved conversations. That kind of mess may not be lying around on a shelf, but it can be just as heavy. Maybe someone hurt you a long time ago and you never quite let it go. Maybe you feel guilt over something you said or didn't say. Or maybe there are just too many what-ifs that swirl around when the house gets quiet at night. Now, I'm not saying you need to solve every emotional knot in one sitting. But acknowledging them, bringing them out of the dark corners of your heart, that's a start. Sometimes, writing them down helps. Not to dwell, but to give them a place to land, outside of you. Or maybe it's having a gentle conversation with someone close. Even just saying out loud, "That still weighs on me," can lift some of the burden. Forgiveness, both for others and for yourself, is a kind of decluttering too. You don't do it to excuse someone's behavior, you do it to stop carrying what doesn't belong to you anymore. When you let go of that emotional baggage, your body feels it. Stress levels drop. Sleep improves. Your whole outlook shifts from being stuck in the past to actually being here, alive, now, and open to joy. And here's another piece of the puzzle: our calendar clutter. You might think, "I'm retired now, I don't even have a calendar anymore." But you'd be surprised how quickly your time gets filled up with things that drain rather than fill you. Too many obligations, even small ones, can crowd your days with stress. Say yes to every invitation, every errand, every favor, and suddenly you're busier than you were when you worked full-time. It's okay to say no. It's more than okay, it's healthy. Your time is precious now. Choose how you spend it like you choose how to spend a beautiful day. Do the things that bring you calm or joy. Take that painting class. Spend an extra hour tending your garden. Or maybe do nothing at all except sit quietly and watch the sky change colors. A calendar filled with space can be just as meaningful, if not more, than one packed with appointments. When your time is your own, you breathe easier. Your days have rhythm instead of rush. And you start to feel, deeply, that this season of life is not about racing, it's about savoring. So whether you're clearing out your closet, your phone, your emotions, or your schedule, remember this: decluttering isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about making space for what matters most. It's about choosing calm over chaos, presence over pressure, and lightness over load. And the beautiful thing is, every bit of space you create, physically, mentally, emotionally, is like a little gift to your future self. You're making it easier to enjoy your mornings, to rest well at night, and to feel more energy throughout the day. You're not just tidying up, you're extending your years in the most meaningful way. Now, let's continue this journey by looking at a few more powerful areas where decluttering can quietly, but powerfully, change your life. You know, a lot of people think that decluttering is just about cleaning up a messy closet or tossing out old junk. But it's so much more than that. When you start removing what weighs you down, physically, emotionally, even spiritually, you're not just creating space. You're inviting in peace, clarity, joy, and yes, even better health. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. By the time we're 60 or 70, we've collected a lifetime of friendships, family ties, acquaintances. Some are wonderful, supportive, loving, energizing. Others? Well, let's just say they drain more than they give. You probably know the type: the friend who only calls to complain, the relative who always brings stress to every holiday, or the old colleague who turns every chat into a competition. These relationships are like dusty old boxes in the attic. We keep them because we feel we should. But the truth? They take up emotional space. They weigh on our hearts more than we realize. Now, I'm not saying you need to cut people off left and right. What I'm saying is, you get to choose how much of your time, energy, and heart you give to people. Ask yourself, when I spend time with this person, do I feel seen? Do I feel uplifted? Or do I feel smaller? If the answer leaves you uneasy, it might be time to set some gentle boundaries. Protect your peace. Because nourishing, positive relationships don't just make you feel better, they actually help you live longer. That's not just feel-good talk, it's science. And speaking of peace, let's look at your environment. Not just the stuff on your shelves, but the mood of your home. The lighting. The sounds. The smells. These things affect you more than you might think. A cluttered, dim space can quietly drain your energy. It can make you feel stuck. But let in a little sunlight, put on soft music, light a candle or diffuse a soothing scent, and suddenly the whole room shifts. And so do you. Why not create a small peace corner just for yourself? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe a cozy chair by the window. A soft throw blanket. A stack of your favorite books. A warm cup of tea. A few plants. This becomes your space to breathe, to slow down, to be with yourself. Every time you sit there, you're telling yourself, I deserve rest. I deserve calm. I choose this moment for me. And here's something important: decluttering isn't a one-day project. It's a process. A gentle journey. One drawer at a time. One email at a time. One memory, one goodbye, one decision. Maybe today you clear out a kitchen shelf. Tomorrow, you delete old files. Next week, you kindly let go of a relationship that no longer fits. Step by step, you're making space for more life, more ease, more joy. And here's the beautiful part. Every time you let go of something that no longer serves you, you're saying yes to something better. You're saying yes to clearer thinking, better sleep, stronger focus, fewer stress hormones. You're saying yes to health. Because when your space is clear, your mind is calmer. When your mind is calm, your body heals. And when your body is healing, your life becomes lighter. We don't always get to choose how much time we have, but we can absolutely choose how we live with the time we're given. And when you decide to declutter, not because someone told you to, but because you love yourself enough to create space for joy, you're doing something powerful. You're making room for freedom, for connection, for peace. So today, start small. One drawer, one kind boundary, one peaceful corner. And just like that, you'll start to notice the quiet magic of less. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights mean a lot to us and give us the motivation to keep spreading positivity and practical advice. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support truly helps us continue creating meaningful content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.